Well, it's Tuesday, and you all know what that means. As you probably can know, NXT are going to have an amazing event. The NXT North American Women's Championship is on the line. Stephanie Vakir makes her first defense against, of course, Carmen Petrovic. So that's going to be a very interesting match. Then, of course, we have the Hardys taking on No Quarter Catch Crew. This is going to be very impressive. And then, of course, the main event features Javon Evans teaming up with Ricky Starks making his in-ring debut, taking on Wesley and, of course, Ethan Page. So anything could happen from here on out. But first things first. Now, those who saw my recent, of course, Unagi Sayaka watch episode, I did talk about her recent match that she had, which was a one-match event featuring her taking on the final boss, Meiko Satomura. So we're going to go through the entirety of the match. I know it's going to be just one match, but why not? Let's just do it because I didn't get the full review on that one. But I'm doing it right here for you guys. And then, of course, featuring, of course, Unagi, she will be making her appearance in Marvelous that took place as well on the 24th. This time she faces rookie Sora Ayame, who in fact is a big fan of Unagi, and now one of her biggest dreams come true is taking her on. So there are other plenty matches as well that took place on that very day. And then, of course, we cap up our episode with some news updates to give you guys updates on what's been happening in the world of pro wrestling, such as what events the promotions are thrown out, who's booked, what matches are set, including developments that are happening in the world of pro wrestling as we speak. So, let's get ready for another episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Hey everybody, welcome to Deleted Wrestle Zone, all things that it's pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, J Rod here. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. This is a channel where we do a lot of pro wrestling views from various promotions, not only here in the United States, but also in Japan, Mexico, Canada, Europe, the UK. Anywhere in the world pro wrestling is not as big, but it continues to grow. We also, of course, do discussion videos, talk about various topics such as the wrestlers themselves, the promotions, factions, storylines, whatever we want to talk about. We also, of course, do more news updates. If certain information was unable to be on this episode, we can either put it on the next one or on a separate video by itself. We also, of course, do real-timing news updates to keep you guys on alert if something has happened in the world of pro wrestling that needs to be addressed ASAP. We also, of course, got the Unagi Sayaka watch and various other cool wrestling content as well. So if you like what you see, please subscribe to us. So click on that subscribe button. You'll be getting a lot of daily reviews and other cool wrestling content as well. But if you like this episode, please give us a like on the like button or a nice comment in the description down below. Now, enough with the pleasantries. So let it all begin. So let's begin with the Unagi Sayaka produced show one match event. The Lord is crazy, mine aim is. Okay, Unagi Sayaka produced one match event. The Lord is crazy, my name is. Well, she is a bit of crazy. We're not gonna lie about that. She's always been a bit of a, how do I say, bit of mischief. She likes to do things. Really, she likes to talk trash, pick fights, that sort of thing. That's who she really is. But taking on the final boss of Meiko Satomura, yeah, that's a different story. But I think I know some of your questioning. J-Rods, really? It was just a one-match event in Cork and Hall? Yes, that's where it happened. It took place recently on the 16th of February. Now, I don't know how much they had to spend, how much it is, but it's interesting that it's only one match. Now, of course, many of you would think, okay, so if they had the match in the ring, there is the possibility that the fight continued outside. Of course it did. Have you ever seen Cork and Hall on from either your computer or whatever you watch that, there's behind the cameras, there's some seats you can see, but not the behind the camera, sort of. So that kind of puts it out right there because they went all the way. I don't know exactly. There was like a bit of a segment that went on. But of course, Unagi, as you probably know, she is an unorthodox wrestler, but we're not going to deny she is a bit, she knows exactly what she's doing. But in the end, of course, there was some great moments where Meiko Satomura applied one of those striking kicks, like trying to weaken the person down no matter what. But of course, there was that moment where she had to do her final resort, which was her finisher, the Scorpion Rising. So that's how she finished her up. And then 1, 2, 3, it was over. So I was very much interested because you probably ask yourselves now, J Rod, how long the match lasted? Well, this match, if you are interested, it kind of went up to nearly 25 minutes. Nearly, so it was a bit more longer. I mean, I think in the back of my mind, I might have thought maybe it went a bit more longer, like an hour or so, but I don't know if these ladies have the stamina to go that farther. I mean, I'm not saying it is, but that's what I thought just by watching this. So that's exactly what I thought. But of course, later we did have the post match promo. I don't know what she said. I don't know if she gave her high praises because of her ability of what she can do. Who knows? And Unagi kind of responded the whole thing. But there was a transcript that they put in the post match comment about. She asked her how fun this is, and Unagi tried to be best buds with her, but I don't think Meiko Satomura wants to be best buds with her, because there are certain wrestlers that don't like her because of her ways. I mean, I don't blame them, but that's who Unagi is. So put it out there. So it's very interesting. I'm not gonna lie. So that's pretty much what happened. So I think that's pretty much it for this event. Let's move on with Marvelous. Okay, Marvelous in Shinkiba first ring. This took place this past Monday, in case anybody asks. Now, our first match, we have six-woman tag match. We have Senka Akisuki, the rookie. She teams up with Shikayo Nagashima, and of course, our current AAAW champion, Takumi Iroha. They take on all the way from Sendai, Yuna, and she teams up with Magenta, Maria, and Riko Kawahara. So, there are some factors of this, but I think some of you can guess that, Aka- Akatsuki is in fact a rookie, so most likely she could take the pinfall. But she has teamed up with two well experienced wrestlers. I mean, Nagashima, a well recognized veteran, and Takumita, who's been considered as the ace of Marvelous. But her opponent, she's facing a Yuna, who's also rookie, but with less of experience, up to less than 3 years, if I'm not mistaken. And as for Maria and Magenta, well, one time rivals, now best friends and tag teams. So you can probably guess how this is going to be. But however, Senka Akatsuki was about to do the same maneuver she did with Eahausen, where she wasn't satisfied how she won. But that was maneuver when Yuna actually pinned her, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match is our only men's exhibition match that we have. We have the resident Leo Isaka. He teams up, takes on all the way from Gambari Pro, Yumehiro Imanari. So it's interesting to see that this Inamari making his appearance here. But however, of course, Inamari is a bit of a veteran in some capacity. He has a bit of a power. But Leo has been a very impressive wrestler too. But unfortunately, this match fell into Imamari's favor when he applied lariat, and just like that, 1, 2, 3, it was over. Now, our next match, we have Aya Hausen taking on Rina Yamashita. Now, I wasn't too sure where this was going to go, but however, this match ended very quickly with 48 seconds when Yamashita applied a lariat. Now, of course, there was a post-match promo. I don't know what Yamashita said to Hausen, but I'm sure this was a match that should not be satisfied as a win. So basically, as you probably would guess it or not, they decided to restart this match. Now it did a bit more longer, up to nearly 10 minutes, just to clarify in some people's aspects when it came to the restart. But I have to say this match went a bit longer than I expected, but wasn't too sure where this is gonna be. Now when it comes to restarts, either the losing opponent win or the winning opponent still won, that sort of thing. But Ehrenhausen, I have to say, she's a bit of a hothead. She's recently went back to her bratty ways when she lost. I mean, she has that perspective. I mean, ever since she won her first match, she just stopped being a brat, but now she's back to her way. But she's facing against someone who has more experience and knows what they're doing. But unfortunately, once again, Rina Yamashita applied, of course, the lariat, and just like that, it was over. 1, 2, 3. It was done. And then once again, she went on the mic, spoke into Hausen. I don't know what she said to her, but I'm sure Hausen will learn from something from this. Now, we did receive a surprise visit from Miyu Momono. Those who know, she recently got injured last month when she and Akars Yurika Oka had to defend both the Sendai Girls and the AAAW tag team titles in the same day in two different shows. So basically, she's going to be out for 3 to 6 months. She was talking directly straight to, of course, the founder, Mama Bear, Shigusa Nagayo, and I don't know what she said, but I'm sure everybody will be happy to see her to return whenever it's the right timing. So we'll see how things will roll up from there. Now, our main event, it's interesting to see a rookie getting the main event. Some of you probably question why. Now, if you guys saw the recent Unagi Sayaka watch match, let me give you guys a backstory how this match came to be. Sora Ayame, as you probably know, she's a rookie, but she is a huge fan of Unagi Sayaka. Now, she met her and had an autograph with her back in January 3rd of 2022. Um, this was during the Stardom Awards, and there's a picture of her, of course, where she was the little girl sitting down in front. Now, the Cosmic Angels at the time that were there was not only Tam, Mina, and Unagi, but also Waka and Mai Sakurai. This is before, of course, Mai Sakurai left the Cosmic Angels to join DDM. Unagi went freelancing that very same year, and of course, um, Waka and Mina left later on. That was like those moments right there. But however, Sora Ayame sent her a letter in tears telling her she wants to become a pro wrestler. But it was Unagi Sayaka who encouraged her to sign up with Marvelous, not with Stardom or Mighty Gold. Now, I think some of you may question why would Unagi tell her to do that. There's a reason why. You see, if Sora Ayame would have gone to Stardom or Mighty Gold, chances are she was never going to fulfill one of her dreams, and that dream was, of course, facing Unagi. Now, when it comes to Stardom and Mighty Gold, they are more of a, how to say, one of those promotions that consider, okay, who what freelancers they can try to get. It's no secret they can get freelancers, but when it comes to Mighty Gold, that's a different story. But the real question I think many of you may ask, how would Soda Ayame did? I mean, I can tell by this match she had like fire in her eyes. She wanted to prove a lot. And of course, I think Unai can sense it, but she has to understand. You may be a fan of mine, but in the ring, we're opponents, and that means I'm not softening it up. So that's exactly how things were going. Unagi extended her hands, but Ayame gave her a slap. And that's like her way of being serious. So I think Unagi took that in consideration. But there was a good moment where Ayame took Unagi outside and scoop slammed her right in the hard floor, which of course was impressive. But unfortunately, Ayame lost this match with a flatliner to Unagi, and she won. And of course, the entire post match promo was emotional. I mean, yeah, it's disappointing she lost, but at the same time, it's like her dreams come true. And of course, certain people cried when they saw this. I mean, it is a very impressive match. And I think Ayame's parents were there to watch, because it is a very important match. I mean, you're looking at this young girl who watched a wrestler a couple years ago wrestle, and now you become a fan, and now you're facing her, and that's a big dream. Even though she lost, and even though one way or another they will cross paths diagonally again, but only time will tell. So yeah, I think this match was a pretty good one. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but it's a good one because it had a lot of feeling into it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it what we have for Marvelous, and let's move on, of course, with NXT. Okay, NXT, and of course in Cincinnati, Ohio, it opened up with the NXT Women's North American title. Stephanie Vakir defends her championship for the first time against Carmen Petrovic. Now, remember, Carmen Petrovic won this match in a three-way number one contendership. Now, however, how would you think this match was going to go? Of course, many of you would think there is no way Stephanie Vakir would drop the belt. You are right from that perspective. But of course, Stephanie Vakir did put up a hell of a fight against Carmen to ensure her dominance. And that's exactly what she did when she applied the SVB. And just like that, she retained the belt. However, Julia shows up, as you probably can guess, to and give her a actual congratulations for winning this belt at Vengeance Day. But however, of course, now it becomes a clear moment where who is the at the top of the game. So that kind of sets it up. And of course, this later set that they will have this match of theirs in Roadblock, title versus title. So this is going to be very interesting. Now, outside of in the streets of Cincinnati, Ariana Grace was talking with Santino, having their thing, and then Lola Vice shows up, probably trying to find out what's her place in the whole thing. But Ariana Grace pissed her off because she wanted to fight, so she said she'll see her in a bit. That's gonna be fun. Now, Lexus King, as you know, is getting ready for his match against Moose, but he runs in against Oba Femi. And now, of course, Lexus King, he knows that Oba Femi and Moose have a thing, and of course, he's wants him to watch. This is going to be his crowning moment because he is originally from Cincinnati. But we'll see what happens. Now, let's jump into that match. And remember, this is for the TNA X Division Championship. Now, of course, you probably can guess that Lexus King will definitely try to put all stops against Moose. I mean, he did try the coronation on him, everything. But of course, Moose defeated Lexus King with the spear, and then 1, 2, 3, it was over. And then, of course, we see the ruler himself, Obafemi, making his appearance. And this time, he made the announcement that they want this. He's saying, that the NXT universe want this. They want to see it. How about you and me and Roadblock for the NXT championship? So that is something I'm sure many fans are looking forward to it. So we can't wait to see it. Now, Jordan Grace, as you know, the latest addition in NXT, made her way to do her promo until she was interrupted with Roxanne Perez. And of course, Roxanne Perez liked to push buttons, but Jordan Grace just gave her something to remember, and wham! A sock in the face. So she should have kept her mouth shut. But yeah. So we'll see how that rolls up. Now, Javon Evans had a little nice talk with Trick Williams, but Trick Williams, as you know, he's been unhinged ever since he lost the NXT title. But at the same time, he has to deal with Eddie Thorpe. So, but however, Ricky Starks tried to be, hey, what's up, man? And then he tells Javon Evans, why isn't there so much hate here, man? God. So he probably noticed. Now, as you know, there's been a recent development in NXT. So Sarah, who interviewed Jada Parker, as you know, her rivalry with Carmen, with Kelani Jordan continues to escalate even further and further and further. And of course, she did declare that Carmen Petrovic dropped the ball by not winning the NXT Women's North American Championship. So we'll see how that goes. Now, our next match, this was a pretty interesting match. The Hardys make their actual NXT debut. I don't think they ever made their presence known there, but they face against the No Quarters Catch Crew, Miles Bourne and Tavion Heights. Man, that match was awesome, as always. Now, keep in mind, this was not a title match, but as always, Fraxium were taking a ringside seat to get this match closer. But however, as always, the Hardys being the fan favorite in WWE, they were going to definitely win this one when they applied a swanton bomb onto, of course, Miles Bourne. But Matt Hardy was the legal man, so he picked up the win. Then Fraxium showed up to do their thing until Santino Marella said that he and Ava came up with an idea. How about the TNA tag team titles are on the line in Roadblock? So basically, that's that. Not a winner takes all type of match in case anybody else. I mean, I'm sure many of you probably would want that, but I don't think that's what happened. Now, as you probably can guess, the D'Angelo family are at war with, of course, Sean Spears. But however, uh, Stax was a bit more upset of how things were coming, and here comes Tony D'Angelo. Now, Stax was trying to apologize for Tony D'Angelo for what he was doing last week, but the Don told him, "Hey, it's okay, dude. It's okay. You were stepping up. That's all that matters." But he tells him that this thing with him and Spears is something he has to do. But Stax was a bit concerned. But Luca was trying to tell him, look, he knows what he's doing. And also Andrea Rizzo. So basically, he's telling him, look, you're the underboss. You took matters in your own hands to continue with the family, even without my presence. That showed you have a lot of guts. But this thing with me and Spears, this is between us, me and him. So basically, the D'Angelo family are now in a position where something could happen to Tony D'Angelo. That means anything could go wrong. So we'll see where that goes. Now, Zaria and Soruka, as you know, they've been pretty much becoming a solid tag team. But however, the current WWE Women's United States Champion Chelsea Green showed up along with her Secret Service Piper Nevins. They decided to pick a fight with them instead. So they decided next week those two will face each other. So that's going to be a very interesting match to watch. Now, our next match, we have Ariana Grace versus Lola Vice. And of course, you probably would have guessed Lola Vice was going to walk away because she is no slouch. Now, we do know that Ariana Grace does have a bit of an MMA background. So does Lola Vice. But Lola Vice, she is deadly if anybody's ever seen her. But of course, she was going to use the back fist, as always. And that played out. Now, while Lola Vice was celebrating her victory once again, let's call these guys, for now, until an actual name has been put out, Shield 2.0 attacked the North Catch Crew. Now, I did not see if and Ren Sinclair was hurt or anything. I did see Miles Bourne, Tavion Heights, and of course Charlie Dempsey. But once again, Shield 2.0 make their presence known. And of course, I'm sure Ava is going to have a headache over this, but we'll see where that goes. Now, our next match, we have Wesley teaming up with Ethan Page, but he's not alone. He has, of course, his two Goonies, uh, Dupont and Igwe, but they face against Javon Evans and Ricky Starks. Now, of course, there's no secret about Javon Evans and Ethan Page, how things were going between them until Ricky Saints actually made his presence known. But Wesley feels like Ricky Saints had no business being NXT stealing the spotlight. Well, too bad. He doesn't care. So basically, that's exactly what happened. But of course, in the match, when it comes to this, we kind of figured that Dupont and Igwe would do whatever it takes to ensure this match falls into favor with Wesley, but unfortunately, Wesley ended up in the wrong side of the Rochambeau, and 1, 2, 3, just like that. So We're probably going to see some great moments with in NXT. However, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole feud is because they don't Wesley does not want um, Ricky Saints to get his hands on the NXT championship. But that's he's still got a little bit to go from that. But for now, we'll see what happens next week. And if there's anything development coming up with NXT and TNA this coming Thursday, we'll see about that too. But for now, let's end things here because we are officially done with our reviews and move on with news updates. Alrighty then, so let's begin with some news updates. As always, let's start with GCW. As you know, they will be here in San Diego on the 28th of February, so that means it's going to be on Thursday or Friday, one of the two. They just announced another match. We have Jimmy Lloyd taking on, and pardon my language, Rob Shit. Yeah, guys, that's his name. Don't ask me why. And of course, they announced for their upcoming Philadelphia event on 6th of April, uh, Philly special. They announced Slade will be there. And then, of course, one of their Las Vegas shows, Joey Janela's Spring Break 9. This is going to be interesting. The Wagner family, um, Dr. Wagner Jr. and his two sons, Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. and Galeno de Mal, will be taking on Los Desperados, consistent of Gringo Loco, Jack Cartwheel, and Aries. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Now for some West Coast Pro updates for their upcoming events. As you probably can guess, they have their upcoming event on the 22nd of March, West Coast Best Coast. There's going to be the Golden Gate title qualifier match. We have many people involved. We have Matt Brannigan versus Jaya Jewel versus LeBron Cozone versus JT Thorne versus Adrian Crest versus Bodie Young Prodigy. So yeah, so that's a pretty good match. And then of course there's their Las Vegas show on the 17th of April, Vegas Vacation. Los Suavecitos will take on Alpha Zoe, Man Like the Breeze, and LJ Clearing. And then of course we have Mao all the way from DDT taking on Jaya Jewel. Now, Mystery Wrestling, which is a promotion that was created by Evil Uno, has announced that on their match, on their event in Gatineau and somewhere in Quebec on March 2nd, they announced Gabe Kidd will be making his appearance. Now, normally in that type of event, you don't know who's going to appear, but for whatever reason, they announced it. RevPro announced another event on the 9th of March. Millie McKenzie will take on Lizzie Evo. Then another name has been announced for the upcoming Maple Leaf Wrestling event, Mayhem, in Ontario between the 14th and the 15th of March, Kevin Knight. Deadlock Pro Wrestling announced for the Forever event on the 16th of March. The DPW National Championship will be on the line. LeBron Cozone defends it against Kevin Blackwood. ChocoPro announced for number 338, and fair warning, that will take place on the 31st of March. The Super Asia Championship will be on the line in a very interesting rivalry. Mei Shiruga will defend her belt against Chiko Shikawa, so that's going to be an interesting match to watch. MLW Battle Riot 7th, that will take place on the 5th in LA. They announced that the MLW Women's World Featherweight Championship will defend it. Naomi Elso defends it against Big Kaiju Shoko Nakajima. Then, of course, the Las Vegas show by Prestige Wrestling, Nothing to Lose, on the 17th of April. They announced Galeno del Mal. That's right, Dr. Wagner Jr.'s son will be involved in this match. And then finally, New Japan Pro Wrestling for their Ontario, California event on the 9th of May. Resurgence, Mercedes Monet will be making her participation there as well. Now on to some news on to the developments. You may have heard what's been going on there. This was revealed by Eric Bischoff and Conrad Thompson, and this was shared by Wrestling News, that there's been rumored that Vince McMahon has been in talks with Fox about a new wrestling promotion. Now, there's been talk about this before after Vince was ousted of WWE. What was it, last year or 2 years ago? Whatever the timeline is. But some people would think that Vince should just go on his high horse and just retire. But it seems like they've been hearing rumors about this. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Now, some of you may ask me, why would Vince do that? I don't know. But we see promoters that do some things like this. For example, Rossi Ogawa is one of them. Before he had Stardom, there were other promotions that he ran, but after he was fired back in what was it, last year, from Stardom, he started Mighty Gold. So it wouldn't be surprised if something similar like that happened. But like I said, it's only a rumor. We don't know for sure if this is 100% true or not until something is to report. But we will stick to the story, and I will put a pin on this one to follow up if there's anything new that we will be hearing. Now, many of you may heard about what happened with Carmella when she was about her no longer under WWE contract. So she went on. Let me pull up what she had to say so you guys can get a clear view. Here it is. This is what she had to say about her departure. Some news broke last week, and I just wanted to let you know that I've seen all of your texts, tweets, messages, and DMs, and like, oh my god, you guys are just the best. I'm so grateful for you and everything you have been saying about Carmella and my career, and I'm blessed, so thank you. I know there's a lot of questions and uncertainty around everything. I will be going on a podcast later this week, answering those questions and telling my side because I have a lot to say about the situation. So, yeah, stay tuned and I'll give you the details when I can. I can't wait to fill you guys in. So, it seems like there's more to this story. Now, I'm sure that we probably may hear something similar like what happened with Sonya Deville, who, Sonya, as you all remember, she said that she was negotiating for a new contract, but they were informing her that, sorry, we're letting you go. So we'll see what happens. Now, Saya Kamitani had to go on about talking about Tam Nakano's decision about instead of having the red belt, it's more of the loser leaves Stardom. So we'll see about this is what she had to say. As with the cute Quest and Utami, don't just say whatever you want when you don't know anything about it. I was born and raised in Stardom, so I really don't know love or anything like that, but I decided to make my career as a wrestler here. There's no way she can match me now. At Corkin Hall, March 3rd, I'm going to put everything I've done in Stardom on the line. So basically, she's pissed that Tam had to do this, talk about Utami Ishida and everything else, and of course, she did often say that she's gonna make her regret saying those words, but we'll see what happens on March 3rd. We're like a, 2 weeks away from that or so, but we'll wait. So for now, I think let's just call it a day. Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. Before anything else, I will say this. No, I'm not sure if I'll be doing any other episode until after Thursday because, as you probably can guess, I'll be heading to the front wave to see AEW and Ring of Honor, so I'm excited. So you will be getting a BWZ at the wrestling event video. That's going to be a lot of fun. Now, the initial plan, what I'm going to do is this. I'm just going to put in some bits and pieces from AEW Dynamite. Now, as for Ring of Honor, I decided I'm going to wait for it. So that's going to be on a separate video because I don't want to get in trouble, revealing certain matches that already were going to take place because I don't know when those of matches will be released. I might release it around the same time when I do the review for that Ring of Honor event, just to keep things separate. Uh, I don't think there's any point to do any review with AEW Dynamite since I'm going to be there and all that, but we'll see. I'm thinking maybe doing other reviews other besides trying to do AEW Dynamite, so we'll see how things will go for my day. But for now, we'll leave things as it is, and I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu. So, goodbye, and have a nice day.